The untold story of largest counterfeit vape operation.
It was in early 2018 when two brothers from a small town in Wisconsin had dreams of making millions. The younger one, a kid named Tyler Huffhines, had been a hustler his whole life, always listening.
Wait, counterfeit vapes like nicotine vapes or probably carts? Because you're not making money counterfeiting Nick vapes. Nick vapes are like $10.
In on his mother's business meetings, flipping sneakers and used cars, and investing in the stock market the day he turned 18. But his whole life changed when his older brother Jacob introduced him to the
I pay $30? You pay $30 for a fucking nicotine vape? Oh, probably one of the big like 10,000 puff bars though. I don't know how much vapes cost. I know how much carts cost. I don't know how much nicotine vapes cost. I know like disposables though, it depends on how big it is. Kind of like getting like a 1 gram, 2 gram cart. You're paying more for the amount of puffs that you're getting. Oh my God. I never saw the Trix Cocoa Puffs or what is that? Chronic carts. I saw, dude, there was a kid in my high school that had one of the Rick and Morty ones. That shit was like for certain vitamin E. Dude, Mario Kart, Rick and Morty cart. Some shit like that. Holy.
Now, Tyler was never the type of guy to get high, but
I wonder what was in those. Because they had to put, there had to be enough THC for it to be convincing. Like, even if you're like, oh, they're selling me fake shit. Like, they can't full cut it. Because if you're not getting high, you're not going to smoke it.
when he realized how lucrative a business counterfeit carts were, he couldn't resist taking advantage. Tyler's entrepreneurial spirit, paired with Jacob's extensive knowledge of the THC cart market, led him and his brother to create the largest illegal counterfeit vape operation in the US, selling an estimated 2.9 million carts and making millions of dollars.
How are they manufacturing that? 2.9 million carts. You would need to have like an actual facility pumping these out.
In just a year and a half. However, thanks to some strict parents and their kid, the Huffhines brothers' operation came crashing down just as fast as they grew it.
Two brothers face charges in a large-scale counterfeit vape.
Bro, and what's crazy is they churned more money than anyone else putting counterfeit carts out because, bro, you name that shit some dumb Fruity Pebbles, Cocoa Puffs, fucking anything that's like related to pop culture or like some sort of kid cartoon. You say it's gonna taste like fucking rainbows. Motherfuckers will eat that shit up. Oh my God, the fucking Slurp Juice cart. Wait, they had one of those. Slurp Juice THC cart. Oh my God, the Fortnite. Is this a fake image, though? Blue. That's how you know you're getting lung collapsing damage. Blue. Blue oil Slurp Juice hybrid. Ooh. Coming in a fucking plastic package like you're getting like some shitty Five Below toy.
Operation.
Authorities say their mother was in on it.
They seized THC products with.
I'd smoke a Sour Patch Kid. I'd probably tap that for the one time.
THC products with a street value of $1.5 million.
Tucked in the Westosha region.
And that's really bad. I used to buy 2 gram ghost carts for $30. Those had to be fake. And after like a day of using them, okay, so here's what's crazy. I would get them from my boy who knew a guy who knew a guy. So that's how sketchy this was. I'm buying them from my friend who's getting them from a guy who knows a guy who he's buying them from. So this is like a 4-man chain down the line. This could be a dude that lives in like fucking Guam that I'm buying these carts from, right? Through a dude. And I was buying them. He'd be like, which ones do you have? We have these flavors. I would hit him like 5 times. It would immediately be burnt. Oh my God. I feel it right here in my cheeks. I'd hit it and it would be so burnt that I would like my whole body would shrivel. And I'd go, nah, it's fine. Horrible. Smoking carts is just inhaling straight metal, dude. Don't smoke carts at all.
Wisconsin is the quiet village of Paddock Lake, surrounded by vast farmlands, quiet country roads, and dotted with clusters of trees.
Why would you do that to yourself? Because I wanted to get high and not spend money at a dispensary. Now, I got money. I also wasn't 21 at the time. But now I got money, so, I could just go to the dispensary. I buy overpriced shit.
It's a peaceful place that's far removed from the bustle of big cities. The village, home to about 3,200, is built around its namesake lake, a hub for summer boating and winter ice fishing. It's the kind of town where everyone knows everyone, especially
Yo, I just full zoned out, bro. They live in a nice ass town, some shit like that.
when it comes to their local high school. Westosha Central High School acts as the central hub for students across the area. The school standing
Yo, everybody in that high school had to be geeking in 2018, bro. Holy. You have the kid that's selling 2 million fucking Rick and Morty carts across the United States in your high school class.
on the outskirts of Paddock Lake is a modern building that almost feels out of place next to the village's small homes and rustic charm. But it's here where the youth of the Westosha region gather to learn, play sports, and in the case of Tyler Huffhines, make some questionable decisions. Tyler grew up with his older brother, mother, and grandfather in a quiet neighborhood overlooking Paddock Lake. From an early age, Tyler was drawn to business, often sitting quiet.
You should make your own carts, Bart cart. Bro, I actually talked to my manager about that. I was like, would that be a fire idea for me to create my own weed strain and just like sell edibles and shit and like open a dispensary? He was like, you would not get any sponsor for the rest of your life. I was like, oh. Like if I created my own weed brand like Flight,
listening to his mom's business meetings and pleading to open his own bank account. By 7th grade, he was already on his grind flipping sneakers to make a profit. And when he entered Westosha Central as a freshman, his entrepreneurial skills only got sharper. While other students were caught up in sports and mowing down kids on Nuketown, Tyler was learning the ropes of business, taking as many business and leadership classes as possible while always looking for his next money-making gig. As his high school years went on, he made thousands of dollars flipping used cars while also investing heavily in the stock market the day he turned 18. After Tyler graduated high school in 2018, he attended Carthage College and worked alongside his brother at
bro, this is what's so fucked is like, he probably could have made millions of dollars doing other shit. Like if you have that type of drive where you're in high school making thousands of dollars flipping vehicles, you're already investing in stocks, you know so much about business, like if he had just waited, gone to college, spent 4 years learning like hedge fund shit, he probably could have been making millions of dollars like legally.
his mother's real estate office. Now, he was still on his grind of becoming a young millionaire, but he was becoming restless. He wasn't content with being stuck working a typical job. He wanted more. He wanted something lucrative, something thrilling, something that would fit the CEO type of lifestyle he always yearned for. But thankfully for him, his older brother Jacob had just the right thing for him. Jacob Huffhines lived a vastly different life than his ambitious sibling. Born 3 years apart, Jacob spent a majority of his teenage years getting into some pretty serious shit. By the age of 17, he faced charges for marijuana possession and underage drinking. By 22, he was a convicted felon and earned himself some jail time on charges of dealing cocaine and running a drug house. But despite these obvious signs that he should step away from the world he veered himself into, Jacob always found a way back into the drug trade. He never learned from his mistakes and instead dove headfirst into learning all about the world of dealing. And his
The weirdest thing is whenever you hear about these stories, they are, it's like an almost got away with it type thing. Like they sold 2 million carts. There was probably a point where they made like $5 million and they could have dipped and didn't. Like, and I'm not saying, oh, they shouldn't have done this in the first place. Obviously that, but it's like same shit with that. What's that one story of the kid and his friends in Canada in like the 80s? And they moved like $50 million of weed from Canada into the United States over in high school. Like these kids were like 17 years old, drug trafficking like hundreds of pounds of weed. It was the 90s or early 2000s. It was like a while ago. And there's like a whole movie on it. And they made so much money and then they just kept expanding. And it's like at some point, bro, now the FBI's looking for you.
eagerness to continue selling drugs
Yeah, kid cannabis.
aligned perfectly with the rise of THC carts. Mind you, this was early 2018, a time when these products were starting to catch fire and become super popular. Legal gray areas and a growing demand
What other fucking fake ass carts did they sell? Yo, how to tell if your carts are fake. I remember I used to look that shit up all the time. They'd be like, scan the QR code. Shit would bring me to a fake website. I'd be like, it's fine. Bro, they had ones that were all themed like some weird shit. The more real I think that's why they stepped away from making fake carts that were like Rick and Morty, Gravity Falls themed and shit. Because it's like, clearly nobody's going to actually fucking legally sell that. So they just start making ones like this. Like, I don't even know if this is fake, but like this is more realistic. Like, oh, exotic carts. That might be a real brand. strawberry banana flavored. That's how you know that shit's fucking laced, bro. Like, you gotta be smoking some shit that tastes like straight fucking skunk.
And for discreet, high-potency cannabis products were creating a gold mine for those willing to take the risk of dishing them out. And Jacob, who
Cake carts are fake. I hit a cake cart one time.
was already deep into this world, saw the
Before one of my philosophy classes. Oh my God. That was junior year. I pull up. I can't name the kid. He's there. He's in my class. He goes, you want to hit this? I go, oh, sure. Oh, sure. Fucking, because it was like the end of the year. I had already done my debate, so we just had to sit in class for like 3 hours and fucking watch. So I hit that shit. I'm like, is that real? He's like, I don't know. We walk through. They end up smoking cigarettes. I've told this before. They're smoking cigarettes. We're all talking. I'm like pretty high. And then our professor walks up. He goes, how you guys doing? Two of the dudes I'm standing next to are just smoking cigarettes. You're allowed to smoke cigarettes, though. You just have to be in a certain area where you're allowed to. And he's like, you guys ready for the debates today? I'm like, oh, yeah, totally. I raised my hand like every fucking 10 seconds, dude. I was so locked. I was like so involved in the debate. I'm involved in philosophy classes anyway, but I remember being like, oh, I'm asking too many questions.
potential to make a shitload of money from selling these cards, and was willing to take that risk. But not alone. Tyler's ambition to make massive amounts of dough paired with Jacob's
What's a fake cart? Something that's laced. Not necessarily with like fentanyl, but it's usually cut with like vitamin E or some sort of like non-THC derivative. Like something that like they're cutting it. They're making it like part THC, part distillate, and then something else. Usually like pesticides or other weird shit that like they're filling the oil with. You do a test, like the bubble test, to see if it's like fucking fake.
vast knowledge of dealing was a match made in heaven. A match that Tyler simply couldn't resist. When Jacob laid out his idea to Tyler, he was completely on board. And just like that, the boys started to craft up a plan. Their strategy was simple. They wanted to create an operation that cut costs and maximized profits by selling counterfeit vape cartridges. In other words, they wanted to establish what's known as a pen factory, a low-profile operation that essentially served as a middleman between THC liquid suppliers and high schoolers who wanted to get fried. Their plan revolved around sourcing empty vape cartridges and branded packaging from Chinese manufacturers for dirt cheap, and then filling them with THC liquid that the boys obtained from California. Basically, they wanted to pass off their carts as legit for as cheap as possible. Is that scummy? Absolutely. But it was profitable, and
Oh, but were they not cutting? Like, were they not putting any, if they were just pouring straight weed into it?
they made it even more profitable by opting to cut their THC
And there it is. And there it is.
liquid with cheaper oils that contained vitamin E acetate.
Yeah, Honeycut.
Sound familiar? This approach used less of their expensive
We watched a video on Honeycut.
core ingredient while still making their product look legit, which in turn increased their margins with minimal overhead. However, even though they had a solid plan set up, the duo still had no clue where they would set up shop. I mean, Tyler probably had enough money saved up to buy a place, but they wanted to keep costs down as low as possible. So
Bro, but then are they not money laundering as well? Like, if you're selling 2 million cards, number one, how are you selling that many? Like, I get you doing a low grade operation. You're buying 100, Chinese carts that are empty. You're filling them with distillate you bought from Cali and fucking drove over. But like, how are you expanding to the point of having 2 million carts sold? Like, you have to have some sort of supplier that's going to be dealing those. And then on top of that, you're intaking millions of dollars. Now you have to money launder that.
where would they go? Well, it turned out the answer was close to home. Courtney Huffhines wasn't your typical mom. She was a well-known real estate
The mom gets in on the deal? No way.
agent in the Westosha area with a larger-than-life personality that perfectly matched her career. If you lived anywhere around Paddock Lake, chances are you saw her bright red blazers on real estate ads or her smiling
How do you approach a real estate lady and say you want to start selling fake carts to high schoolers?
face on Instagram, promoting her new listings or showing off her family's latest vacation. But beyond the posts and business attire, Courtney was someone who valued ambition and wasn't afraid to take risks. She had spent over 2 decades in the real estate game. She built her career by working with well-known real estate companies in southeastern Wisconsin and eventually opened her own place called Real
Bro, it's always Wisconsin. Why is it always fucking Wisconsin? People always say it's Florida. It's always fucking Wisconsin. Like every fucking video we watch. in a body cam or some shit. It's always Wisconsin.
The executives unity. And despite filing for bankruptcy back in 2012, she was back on her feet by 2018 and opened a brand new real estate office in Union Grove, Wisconsin, about 15 minutes from Paddock Lake. She was all about success, resilience, and self-belief. But it turns out her success wasn't just limited to selling homes, if you know what I mean. The boys approached their mother with their plan, pitching it as some kind of entrepreneurial endeavor that required
Yo, pitching this to your mom? How do you even approach that? Hey, mom. So, you know how I'm kind of an entrepreneur, right? So, let's just say I've been buying like 1,000 empty cartridges on Temu, and I have about like, I don't know, maybe like $8,000 worth of THC distillate sitting in the garage. We want to sell carts to high schoolers.
a home base. And
We're going to make a lot of money.
shockingly, instead of slamming the door on their wildly illegal idea, Courtney did
Yo, what's wild too is they were probably fucking selling them for like more than not even more than they're worth, because they're obviously cutting, but also probably selling them for a scam price higher than like a dispensary. Like there were people that were probably selling these 1 gram carts for like $60. Like a street cart cut, $60.
She gave it her blessing and even allowed them to use her office in Union Grove to get things started. It's almost surreal to imagine. Like on one side is Courtney's nice real estate office, and on the other side, her own sons are filling carts with booth. On January 16th, 2018, Tyler, Jacob, and Courtney kicked off their new startup with nothing more than some empty vape carts, a bit of THC distillate, and a lot of ambition. Tyler, the #1 man in the operation, knew that scaling this type of business required, well, learning the business. And this is where a man named Moo came into play. Moo, who was not a cow, but rather the boys' plug from California, wasn't just their supplier of THC distillate. He became Tyler's mentor. Over countless
Bro, if I had to sell hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of drugs, how would you go about doing that? Like, let's say you don't have a connect already. Like, am I going to go drive to, like, Camden, New Jersey and walk up to a dealer on the corner and be like, boy, do I have an opportunity for you. Let me pitch this to you. You open up the trench coat, Rick and Morty carts, right? We got Morty. We have Rick. Rick's stronger than Morty, 98% versus 43%. This one's really cut. The Morty cart's going to kill people.
FaceTime calls, Moo walked Tyler through every step of making counterfeit carts, like how to dip the caps in alcohol to avoid leaks and how to properly fill them. Tyler picked up this skill rather quickly and began making his dank vapes
98%? Bro, they sell so many carts that are 98% now.
and
What a scam, by the way. The percentage of THC in a cart does not equate immediately to how high you're going to get. Like, I feel like the terpenes and the other shit that's in the weed matters more, bro. Like, I've gotten higher on, like, 83% carts than 99s.
Sonic Sour Patch Kids carts all by himself in a matter of days. After he got in the swing of things, it wasn't long before he decided he needed to invest in more supplies. Over Labor Day weekend in 2018, he flew to California
Wait, how many did he sell?
rather quickly and began making his dank vapes and chronic Sour Patch Kids carts all by himself in a matter of days. After he got in the swing of things, it wasn't long before he decided he needed to invest in more supplies. Over Labor Day weekend in 2018, he flew
I would have fell for the fucking dank vapes. The chronic carts, I would have been like, that shit's fake. I would have fell for the dank vapes. The dank vapes Diamond OG looks like a real cart.
needed to invest in more supplies. Over Labor Day weekend in 2018, he flew to California, carrying $300,000 in cash to purchase more distillate. A fucking insane move for a kid straight out of high school. The trip secured the steady supply of THC oil the brothers needed to ramp up production, which led them to the tall task of building their team. They started out by hiring a few associates to help fill the carts, paying them $20 an hour to do so, well above the Wisconsin minimum wage at the time. And for a while, their system of filling and selling carts out of Courtney's office was running smoothly, until one of their associates got stopped by the cops. Now, although this little situation didn't blow up their operation just yet, it was enough to make Tyler and Jacob hit pause.
This just reminded me. All right, I can't name anybody. This is another I have a friend story. I have a friend that used to, see, this is bad, sell THC carts. Not fake ones, but real ones. They would fly them in. They would have, like, tubs of them. They'd sell them. When they were in high school, they, like, pulled over. They were showing this guy, like 20 things of, like, it was just like a box full of THC carts, and he was like picking the flavors he wanted. So like it's a woman. They're gonna remain unnamed. All right, that kind of just blew it up. Oh shit. All right. Well, anyways, it doesn't matter. I'm not gonna name him. It's not Brooke. Brooke would never sell drugs. She pulls over and has this whole box. She gives it to the guy. The guy's picking the carts. He goes, "Oh yeah, can I like see the whole box? I'm just trying to like scope through them." Grabs the box, looks through it for like 10 seconds. She said she turns and looks at her phone. The guy just runs with the whole box of carts. He's just into the bushes, jumps like 3 fences. She never sees him again. Guy just disappeared into the night. I was like, wow, you actually just got robbed as the dealer. Bro, hit a crazy lick there. All right, I gotta rewind. Sorry. Oh my God.
On a condo in
I fully forgot about that.
Bristol Bay carts, something way more conspicuous. They set their sights on a condo in Bristol Bay, a peaceful neighborhood in the village of Bristol. Tyler, already having trust from sketchy randos in the state, turned to California to find a guy and pay them to steal a man's identity, which he then used to rent out the condo. Once again, a fucking insane move for a kid who couldn't legally drink. But this wasn't even the craziest part. Courtney was the one who brokered the deal for the condo and was aware that her own son was not only using a stolen identity to rent it, but also knew that they were about to run a full-fledged drug ring out of it. Courtney, honey, what are we doing? And somehow, no one suspected a thing from the condo deal, and it soon became the center of their ever-expanding empire. Over the next year and a half, their operation absolutely exploded. They went from a few helpers here and there to a full team of 10 workers who were filling between 3,000 and 5,000 cartridges a day, which equates
5,000 carts a day, but how are they selling that? I just don't like, yeah, you can create it, but like, you're telling me you have that amount of people to fucking sell carts to
over 2.9 million carts over that time frame. Also during that time frame, Tyler tightened up the operations workflow even more to increase productivity and reduce costs. He did so by switching his workers from being on hourly pay to paying 30 cents per cart they filled, an equation he calculated would create more carts and cost less for him.
He realized it would be more cost effective, according to Tyler, if you started paying him 30 cents a cartridge. He would save, or he would make.
Bro, see, that's what's nuts, dude. This kid has like the gall to be like a CEO of a company and just fire people and not give a fuck.
Make an additional $2.20 a cartridge.
From when they started in early 2018 to around August 2019,
30 cents a cart. How long does it take to fill a cart?
the Huff Hinds were killing it. Thousands upon thousands of carts were being manufactured and sold from the condo, some of which were even making it to neighboring states like Illinois and Minnesota. This officially made them a multi-state operation with absolutely no suspicion from anyone. Now, their neighbors would see Jacob, Tyler, and the gang constantly leave and come back from the condo, but they didn't think.
Bro, why did they stop? Like, you're telling me you sell 2 million carts? At like what, at least $40 a cart in that time, 2018, bro. $40 a cart at the time. That's like, I mean, at post profit or like post costs, like they're profiting like 20 million.
Think anything of it. They thought it was all normal. Well, everything seemed normal until a couple of parents about an hour away
Or do you think they were selling them for like 20 bucks? That's even more sketchy.
From the operation caught their kid doing something naughty. A mom and a dad were shocked to see their kid getting stoned off a cart in early July 2019 in Waukesha, an affluent suburb near Milwaukee. The parents, wanting to hold their high schooler accountable, marched him down to the local police station to turn himself in, which I mean is a little.
What? I mean, dude, you find your kid smoking weed as a parent, I'm crashing out, but I'm not going, yeah, we're going to get you arrested now. What?
Extreme, right?
Yeah, that's like fucking ruining your kid's life.
But regardless, the parents made their kid talk with the Waukesha Police Department and discuss where he got the cart from, which is when he showed them Tyler's.
Scared Straight? That doesn't work. If you look at Beyond Scared Straight, that show as a whole is just a fucking myth. That shit does not work.
Snapchat. Now, Tyler would constantly post about the thousands of carts he had in stock, his piles of money, along with his constant trips to California to re-up his supplies, all of which was a goldmine of information for these cops.
Tyler set up an account on Snapchat and sold product using the name Wisco Bag Boy.
After seeing this, the Waukesha Police Department launched an investigation, meticulously tracing dealers and anyone else that could be a part of the operation. The evidence stacked up quickly. And within a month, the Waukesha cops teamed up with the Kenosha Drug Operations Group and the Racine County Metro Drug Unit to finally take down the Huff-Hines operation. On September 5th, 2019, around 6 a.m., authorities executed search warrants at the 3 locations connected to the Huff-Hines.
That motherfucker looked like a cart seller too. Yo, literally. I feel like motherfuckers still, like, parents think that drug dealers are, like, in a sketchy part of a town, in, like, a trailer. And I feel like now, bro, most people that sell drugs are, like they look like regular-ass people.
Their childhood home in Paddock Lake, their condo in Bristol, and Courtney's office in Union Grove. The first raid took place at the family's home. Inside Tyler's room, officers...
Like, it's not some shit, bro. Like, unless you're buying, like, crack. Like you, I don't deal drugs.
Found around $48,000 in cash in a fully loaded shotgun with one in the chamber. Inside Jacob's room, they found a loaded rifle, cocaine, weed, a digital scale, some carts, 9 Xanax pills, and around $11,000 in cash. And around the house, detectives discovered 8 other firearms and assorted drug paraphernalia. Up next was the Holy Grail, the condo in Bristol. At the condo, officers found 31,200 THC vape cartridges ready for shipment.
Bro, that's worth so much money. 31,000 full THC carts?
And 98,000 unfilled carts and 57 mason jars filled with THC distillate worth around $342,000. There were also 3 money counting machines, 18 pounds of weed, and stacks of empty packaging for brands like Dank Vapes and Chronic Sour Patch Kids. This is also where Jacob and Tyler were found and arrested.
The Kenosha County Sheriff's Department executed warrants last week on 2 county properties. 2 men have since been arrested, 2 brothers.
Lastly, authorities searched Courtney's real estate office in Union Grove. At the time, the place had been mostly cleared out, but police still found leftover packaging materials and drug paraphernalia, enough to show that the office was a critical part of the operation at one point. And
Loki didn't want them to get caught? No, it's good that they got caught, especially since they were cutting carts. It's still bad either way, right? It would be less bad if they weren't cutting it with honeycut. Like, if they were selling, like, just straight weed, it's like, okay, you're a drug dealer, but, like, they're also, like, a part of the reason that people were, like, dying or getting popcorn lung. Like, vitamin E kills people.
As a result, Courtney was arrested a few weeks later.
All the THC oils and stuff were gone at that time, but all the packaging, everything that was there in the Bristol condo was also there in the back of her office.
So now, with all 3 Huff-Hines in handcuffs, it was obvious they're going to be slammed with the book, right? I mean, an illegal multi-million-dollar operation, identity fraud, a shit ton of firearms, selling millions of carts across state lines, they were fucked. Or were they? Tyler, Jacob, and Courtney were all charged with some pretty serious crimes, as you can see on the screen. I mean, it's literally enough to fill the entire screen. And after looking at all of those charges, it seems like some pretty serious shit. But whatever god-tier lawyers they hired got them out of all of it. Jacob was only fined $10,000 and placed on 2 years.
Yo. So they're out. Like, they only, bro, 2 years probation, he didn't even go to prison. Courtney only had to pay $15K. Bro, so did they keep the money? They got fined $10K? Wait, so they're just millionaires. Like, they just have like 40 mil.
Probation. Courtney was,
literally Better Call Saul. Like, using that fucking meth money.
Fined a total of $15,000.
Wow. Tyler wasn't fined, placed on 3 years of probation.
And Tyler, who was the one who spearheaded this entire thing, was not fined at all and only placed on 3 years probation. I just don't know how to explain that. All 3 of the people connected to the largest black market THC vape ring in the US all avoided prison time and pretty much got away with everything.
Bro, so they're just millionaires now. How the fuck did they get out of that? Were they registered guns? They found 8 guns, 37,000 fucking cartridges, or 31,000 cartridges full ready to sell under an illegal operation. You don't have a business. You're literally selling drugs. And you just get 2 years probation. What the fuck? They took the money? I gotta look that up. No. They took the cash probably and all the drugs. But, like, you got to think, bro, if they sold 2 million carts, they have money away. Oh, my God. That is crazy. Oh, that was a good video. I got to piss real quick, so count me down.